Hey guys, in this video, I want to show you how you can sell your high ticket coaching offer without doing any sales calls. And I know to some of you watching right now, this might sound like such a wild concept. Like, how could I possibly sell a really high ticket offer upwards to $5,000, $10,000 without jumping on a call with the prospect? But don't worry, I got you. In this video, I'm going to break everything down and I'm going to give you my formula, my framework, and behind the scenes on how I'm doing things. And if you're new here to the channel, my name is Andre. I run a consulting business helping high-ticket coaches scale their dream businesses with my Unlocked Creator model. Now, as an Unlocked Creator, I'm all about clarity, I'm all about speed and simplicity. So what I'm gonna show you in this video is nothing like too wild. It's nothing insane with like complicated things. It's just something that you can directly take today and apply into your business, and you're gonna see the results. So in here, what I'm telling you in this video, this is literally the stuff that I'm teaching my clients. So let's get into it. If right now you're an online coach or a consultant and you're tired of like back-to-back sales calls that ends in the famous, I'll think about it, we all know it, oh, this sounds great, but I'm gonna let you know, I'll think about it. This is basically no, right? And if you're tired of just trying to like convince people on sales calls and actually after that getting ghosted, I know I was last year. If you're tired of getting ghosted, if you're tired of convincing, sitting there on a call for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, almost like begging that person to buy your program, if you're tired of all of this nonsense, hours and hours wasted on sales calls with unqualified, just gonna write this here, unqualified leads. If you want something way simpler than all of this, to first of all save your time and make more money, I'm gonna give you all of that into this video. So let's actually erase that, and I'm gonna show you my model and the simple way I'm doing things. Instead of a sales call, instead of a sales call, what I'm doing is I'm giving people an offer document through the DMs. And that is it. How crazy, right? Like, I'm giving people basically, instead of a sales call, I replace that with an offer document, which is really goes in depth into what my program has to offer. And I'm giving that through the DMs. Now, I'm gonna show you my system, which I like to call the Client's Ascension Ladder, that basically allows me to do all of this, and I'm gonna break everything down. So I'm not using any complex funnels, any weird tricks with giving people PDFs, like thousands of resources for free to try and, again, like beg them to jump on a call with me. No, I'm using a Client's Ascension Ladder. So Client's Ascension Ladder. And I'm gonna try and draw it right here. So, just like a ladder, we have a couple of steps. Hopefully this looks good. So, in here, what we have is Instagram plus YouTube content. In here, we're gonna have a free school community. I made a video about this. You can check it out on the channel. And then we have a paid school, and then we have one-to-one mentorship. So this ladder is basically moving people up from the content. We're giving people value with Instagram and YouTube, and then we're offering people a chance to join our free school, our free academy. And then in there, we give them a sneak peek into our world, and then they're ready to ascend to the paid school and the one-to-one. And we're doing all of this through the offer doc. So at every step of the way, when we're having a conversation with someone, we just give them the offer doc, and when we're presenting that as an option for them to ascend on this ladder. So this is the ladder right here. No complicated funnel, no like weird trick. This is the ladder. Why are we using this ladder? Well, because we're using a single high ticket offer right? A single high ticket offer. The offer doesn't change throughout the ladder, but we're using multiple levels of access. So multiple levels of access. Hopefully you guys can see this, right? Multiple levels of access. So at every step of the way, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, we offer more and more value. And the more access people want to us as the coach, in terms of the one-to-one, obviously the more they have to pay. Now, why are we using this system in the first place? Well, we use this because it's so much easier to ascend people step by step than to try and rush someone, because what people are doing, right? They're posting Instagram content and then they have a ManyChat automation, something in the back, and they tell people, comment this, get my free guide, and then let's hop on a call. And that's what I was doing last year. And you know what happens then? You basically don't have enough time. Like that person doesn't have enough of a buffer to build trust with you, because you're trying to rush them. So this is the problem we're solving with the Client Ascension Ladder. It is a clear, super clear, again, I'm all about clarity, system that allows us to see, okay, someone is in the Instagram step right here. What is the next step? The free school. The free school, we give them more value, and then from the free school, we ascend them to the paid school. And then obviously, whoever is in the paid school is much more likely to ascend to the one-to-one offer. And for this, for example, you could do something like $1,000 for the paid school for access to 1 year, and then you can do $5,000 for this, $10,000. You decide the price as an unlocked creator, as an unlocked coach, right? So this is basically the entire model in the entire system. Now, I want to break it down even further and actually show you how I'm having conversations and how I'm sending the offer documents. So bear with me while I wipe all of this. So this goes like this. Basically, I'm posting Instagram content. Then I'm sending people to a simple YouTube video, which is also my VSL. This is a video in which I explain people my unique way of doing things, or my unique mechanism, and basically pre-selling them on how I'm doing things, my own way, my own unique way of working. And then from the YouTube in here, I have two paths. So I either, like, once they're further educated with YouTube, they're slightly hotter leads than just cold leads from Instagram. Once they're here, I obviously move them to the free school. So I'm inviting people to join my free school. And in here, the second option is I just start a conversation in the DMs. So I might say on the VSL, like, DM me X, something like that, you know, on Instagram, and let's have a conversation to see if we can actually work together. Now, in the back end, basically, I have an automation that detects this this keyword. It starts a conversation, and then I go in personally and I ask people, like, hey, have you watched, like, are you familiar with my unique way of doing things, of my unique mechanism, of my, because this is my Unlock Creator OS. So are you guys familiar with this? Good, okay. And then I have a simple conversation. And at the end of this conversation, and I'm gonna, like, break down my formula for this. At the end of the conversation, I just give the offer doc. And this applies for the school DMs in here as well, because the idea is to move them to the offer documents. And so as, like, for my framework, so hopefully this makes sense, but for my framework, let me just wipe this quickly. Whenever someone sends you the keywords, or let's say they join your free school, because this is the most powerful mechanism. I talked about it again in the previous video. Free school is the most powerful place for you to build trust with people, nurture them more, and actually give them a sneak peek into your own unique mechanism, into your system. So when they enter on school, what I usually do is I have an auto DM that says something like, hi, how's it going? It's super simple. Again, you don't need to like go anything like crazy. How's it going? Whatever. And then from this message, I start my conversation. And the way I'm like, guys, I'm super like, I'm not about like any sort of like, I'm not gonna give you a weird hack here. You just have a genuine conversation. I'm just gonna give you the framework for it. So basically, I start off by, let me just actually draw this. So I start off human. What do I mean by this? You have a conversation that is actually human, right? You ask them, hey, where are you from? What do you do exactly? How is life? How is business? You just have a human conversation with them. And then what you want to do in the second step is to basically gently read. So we're not going to go for like the sale. We're not going to go for the throwing the offer document immediately. We're going to make them like direct them to phase one. And I'm gonna break this down here for you guys. So as a coach, you need your unique mechanism, right? I made a lot of videos about this. You guys have it in the previous video as well. But your unique mechanism can have 3 iconic phases: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. And you can spread these phases out in your free school group inside of the classroom like this. So you can have, for example, what I have is I have 6 levels, as I like to call them, in the classroom. And throughout these levels, I'm basically giving all of my phases from the Unlock Creator OS. Now, you have these in here in the free school. What you want to do is you're going to have all of these locked except for the first one. So the first one is going to be unlocked. And you want to, through the DMs, you want to direct them to this. And inside of this, again, I talked about it in the last video, but just as a preview, inside of this, you want to make sure you do a killer job with this and give the most amount of value. Why? Because you want them to basically get a preview of what it's like to work with you, what it's like to be in your program. So in your free school, you're not going to do any like random course that like doesn't have anything to do with what you're doing, or like multiple courses or like random videos. You're actually going to have your program from the paid school, the full version, lock the, if you have, for example, 6 parts, lock the 5 parts and just leave out the first part for everyone for free. Why? Because you want them to go into your system and actually get a preview, actually start applying things. This whole idea, to break down the psychology behind it, is we want to get them hooked to this entire system, which I also like to make the analogy with like a Netflix show. So imagine we have 6 seasons, we give the first season away for free, get them hooked, get them to become fans, have them start applying things from here. And then a lot of people are gonna be like, how do I unlock like the rest of the stuff? Well, super simple. Within each lesson in here, what you wanna do is have a simple CTA that points to, you guessed it, the offer doc. So this is what you wanna do. And basically throughout this conversation, you direct them to phase 1 in here. And then what you want to do with the next step, if I can wipe this off, you want to make sure you keep in touch with them for the next 2-3 days and just make sure they are consuming your content. They're getting into the phase 1. So for the conversation, we have, again, the human phase. Try to be human, casual conversation. Direct to phase 1, and then how's it going? Like, how's phase 1? Just a little update. Then you want to open up the conversation and you want to really get a feel for their like current situation business wise. So current situation. So what are you doing right now? How is business? And then obviously they're going to give you their problems and challenges, bottlenecks. Now in here, I don't want you, this step is not the offer document in here, because a lot of people might think like, oh, okay, whenever someone tells you the problems, just jump in, going for the kill. No. In here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna become relatable. And this is something that not a lot of people are talking about. But you wanna be relatable. So what I'm doing, what I might say is, hey John, where are you from? Let's say he's from Italy. I love Italy. I've actually been there to Tuscany a couple of months ago. I love Italy. I love the culture. Actually, by the way, I just want to make sure you now have access to phase 1 in the classroom. Go there to phase 1 and let me know what you think. Inside, you will have exercises, worksheets, things you can actually apply into your business. Now, obviously, this might differ from niche to niche, so make sure you go there. Then just give John some breathing room and then reach out 24 hours later, 48 hours. How's it going? How's level 1 or phase 1? What do you think of it? Do you need any help? Okay, boom. And then just continue the conversation. So John, I was wondering, like, how's that agency going right now for you? Like, what is the what is the current situation for your business? Are you struggling with anything? And John might say, yeah, I'm actually struggling with bringing in qualified leads, and we have an issue with that. We have a huge bottleneck with that, and so this is where we struggle. Now, I'm not gonna go instantly into, oh, cool, here's the fix. No, what I'm gonna be relatable, and I'm gonna tell, John, like I actually had an agency. So I actually had an agency, like I know what you're talking about. I struggle with that as well. And what I found is that, you can apply this model or this model. And this is basically you go like smoothly go into the segue. And this is actually something that we have inside of our program. So you just pick it up from there. So in here, you segue into basically talking about the program. And when I say talk about it, I don't mean explain like a lot of things. Just mention casually like, oh, this is actually something that that I have inside of my program and that I'm helping people like you with. And then here's the magic thing. You ask for permission. This is key. So this, relatable, human, phase 1, and permission, this is key. You ask them for permission. So I could be like, hey John, because this is actually something that we have inside, and now that we had a conversation and I really understand, like, first of all, I love the mindset that you have, the current situation. Would you want me to send you our invitation document, our offer document? Maybe, it can be something helpful for you. And then most likely what I've found is, like, to be perfectly honest, okay, let's not say 100% because that would like make me, but like 99.9% always say yes to this, to the permission. They give the okay, right? Because you had all of these touch points. You didn't start the conversation with like, hey, what's your problem? Here's the document. They're gonna say yes. Cool, John, here's the documents. And then you just give the offer documents. And then what you do after the offer document, you just send another super simple message like, hey, let me know if you want to be in, let me know if you're interested in this, and then we can get you signed up. And with this model, with this entire model, I managed to make $4,000 in just 3 days. So it's not a like really complex way of doing things with so many different funnels and resources. No. You bring people to your free school community where you give them the access to your system. You give them the sneak peek. You have a conversation, start off really human, point them to your content. This is very important in terms of onboarding. You want to point them to that. Then you ask, how's it going? Current situation, problems. Make yourself relatable, but not in a fake way. That's important. Segue into talking about what you offer. Ask for permission and then send the offer document. And this is the framework for school. Now, the framework for Instagram is a bit different, and I'm gonna explain why. So with Instagram, You basically, so from Instagram, you send to the VSL. So this is basically the big YouTube video. I also call this the hero video. This is basically your staple video, the one in which you're explaining your unique methods. You send them here, and in here you obviously, like we talked about, you have the free school in which you're gonna have DMs, right? But then also in here, you're gonna have the IG DMs. With like DM me this and automation would start. Now what I'm doing is when someone DMs me, I basically instantly ask them, hey, have you watched the video from here? Just reconfirming the fact that they have to watch this, because again, at this point, especially if they're a new lead coming in through either like a boosted reel or an organic post, they may not be really that familiar with my mechanism. So I'm making sure they watch this. If they have watched this, then the next step is basically telling them like something like, yeah, great. And then what you can do, this is what I'm doing as well. What you can do is you can instantly go like, again, what is your sort of like current situation? What are like the problems? Identify the problems. In the same way from like school, you can basically make a suggestion, ask for permission to send the document. And then once they say yes, you send the document. Now, how is this different? I'm gonna tell you how. If they have not watched the video, if they're really new to how you're doing things, throughout this conversation, you actually might want to hold off on immediately jumping into the current situation problem, sending the offer document, and pointing them to the free school. And you only do this with the people in here that are slightly colder in terms of leads. With the people that are really hot, if they say, yeah, man, like I've been watching your YouTube videos, because YouTube, the reason why we're doing YouTube builds a whole lot of trust, way more than Instagram Reels, short videos, in which people basically don't have enough time to build that trust with you. So if they're really cold, you might want to send them to the free school, in which again, you do the process that I just talked about. If they're really hot, then you can go into that conversation. And guys, I really want to highlight the fact that if you are human, if you are yourself, if you don't try to hard sell, if you don't try to push people into this like offer, like, hey, for 24 hours, you have 50% off of all of this crap. If you actually genuinely try to understand their current situation, relate to them, right? Position yourself not on this like pedestal as like this unicorn that got lucky and, you know, is an amazing person, like a superhero that is untouchable. No, be relatable. Say that you kind of like struggle with that as well. Be genuine, right? Then ask for the permission, because this is the biggest thing. The big issue with sales calls is, and I used to do this, you want to go for the kill, and they can feel that, right? That whole sort of like desperation. You're not there to help them. You're not there to have a conversation. You're there to kind of be like, okay, what do you struggle with? Oh, okay, here's my program. You really skip the part in which you're actually having a conversation with them, like for real. And guys, through the DMs, like I cannot tell you, in my school, I'm having some amazing people on the free school. By the way, you can join that down below. I had some amazing conversations from there about life, not even about like business. And then I immediately went into, not immediately, but like after having that conversation, I was like, oh, okay. And by the way, you mentioned that, like, is it that something like you're struggling with? Yes. Okay. Cool. I actually struggle with that myself, talking about life some more, and then being like, oh, by the way, is it okay for me to like send you our invitation document, because you might seem like a great fit for Unlock Creators, for what we have inside. And then 99.9%, so I don't say 100%, will tell you yes, send the documents, and then obviously some, not like 100%, like 1000% of the people are gonna buy your stuff, but it's just a numbers game. And my entire job with this is to make you realize that the sales calls, the old model of complex funnels and back-to-back sales calls that literally just waste you time, this is not needed anymore, because you can literally replace this with a simple document in which you present your entire thing, your entire high ticket offer. And the key part in this is YouTube. The key part, because this is gonna introduce people into your world. As the hero coach or leader or unlocked creator, you want to create your world. You want to create your unique way of doing things, presenting that to the public, to your audience. And anyone who's like cold from like a couple of short videos on Instagram, you want to point them to basically YouTube videos like this one, in which you're talking for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, build that trust, and then eventually moving them to Instagram DMs or the free school. And again, free school is the most powerful mechanism that you can make use of, because not only you can have the conversation with people, but in there you can announce events, you can basically give them a sneak peek into your mechanism, and that's basically it. Because what you really have to understand with this is that it's way simpler than it seems. So a lot of you right now, you might wonder, like, what is the hack? Like, what is the biggest hack I can use right now? It must be a complicated thing. But in reality, it's not. In reality, it's all about posting good quality content, you genuinely having the desire to help, right? Because the biggest thing with me, guys, I love this. Like, I love this shit. I love to just be here with my almost falling whiteboard and just basically talking about the things that I'm passionate about. And right now, if you're watching, for example, you might not be the best fit for my inner circle, for my program, and that's okay, because a lot of you watching will be. And if you want someone to actually help you implement all of this, I'm your guy. So that's the thing. It's not this like complex thing. We tend to complicate things with all of these different techniques and funnels and all of it. But really, when it comes down to having a conversation in the DMs, you have to be human. You genuinely have to be human. I said this plenty of times before in my content, in my Instagram, YouTube, but I will say it again. People don't buy coaching, they buy coaches. So right now, as a coach, think like, what is really making me unique, and try to like show as many parts of you as you possibly can. Make a YouTube video in which you're more vulnerable. Make one in which you're more technical. Depending on your niche, you want to show all of these parts of you. So basically you communicate to the right people, I call them the soulmate clients, that you're the right fit for them. So anyways, if you enjoyed all of this, we're actually running a workshop tomorrow. That's gonna be Sunday, March the 9th at 1 p.m. EST or 6 p.m. GMT, I think it is, in which I break all of this down even more. And we're doing a deep dive into my full business model, how I'm running things with my Unlock Creator model, how I'm helping my clients achieve all of this as well. So if you're interested in that, I'm gonna put it in the description down below, in the comments. And we also have the free school, which is gonna be amazing, because there you're gonna literally be able to see all of this, not only how it works, but get a lot of value in level 1. So I'll see you guys tomorrow in the workshop. It's gonna be an epic session, and hopefully you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one.